So what does a well-crafted email to a CoPacker look like? If you're an emerging brand owner and you're trying to get costs, if you write a poorly crafted email, you may not get a response from a professional CoPacker who's handling large volume because your email crafted poorly and will imply that you're a high maintenance potential customer and not a good source for sales because you're still learning, you're not really getting to the point. So if you write a really efficient email, you're going to be more likely to get a response and the answer that you want, which would be a quote and possibly finding a new factory partner. So what would a really well-crafted email look like to a CoPacker? You want to get straight to the point and describe your product. Don't give any romance or flowery stories about what brought you to this point. Just tell them the facts. Number one, what is the product? Liquid, is it cookies, what is it? Number two, what's the volume? So that could be the number of ounces that you want to have in the box or the bag. It could be a number of cookies or piece units that you're going to be including in the cell unit that you're actually going to be crafting. Number two, what is the packaging? And you want to ideally give them a photo, maybe describe it if you don't have pictures yet. And you want to tell them things like the inner packaging and the outer packaging and also the master case information. So that might be, if it's a box of cookies or crackers, it might be an inner bag and then an outer box, and that's the actual cell unit. And then that might go into a big master carton case. So if you actually have thought that stuff through, that'll show that you actually are ready to get into manufacturing because you know what needs to be done. After that, you want to talk about the features. So any special thing, like it needs to be hot filled. This product needs to be certified organic, because those types of things might eliminate a CoPacker from working with you if they cannot meet those needs. And then number five, you want to talk about the general volume that you're expecting. Almost every CoPacker will ask you, what is the volume of your first order and what's the annual volume that you're expecting throughout the year, because that will affect whether or not they want to work with you, because it's a lot of work to get your product all set up when you're an emerging brand and they want to be sure that they can make enough money working hard to make your products. So if you write out a tier of quantities, so maybe your first run might be small, but you're hoping to get into Walmart, that would be a really high quantity. So if you write a couple of different quantities, that implies you're already thinking bigger. Number six, you want to include any pictures or photos that you have, because we're all visual and I'll help them get right to the point. That's why I really encourage people to develop a brand and to do some mock-ups, because 3 mock-ups can help you sell a product both to your CoPacker and to the retail buyer that you might be meeting with. Number seven, you want to list the ingredients or piece parts that you want to be included in the product. So if a special call out is going to be this red dye that you want to have, it's all natural and you've already found the source, you want to list out those features and say there's something special about this product that needs to be included. Number eight, the launch date. So when you're hoping to actually place a PO and get that thing live into stores, tell them that you've got a specific sales date, because that shows that you've got momentum. And number nine, where are you planning to sell it? So if it's going to be an online product, if they maybe don't have familiarity with packing products for Amazon, that's important. If you list some of the stores where you're already going to be selling, if it's a big box store, then it shows, oh my gosh, they've got some traction, they're going to be selling things soon. So putting that information into your email will show that you're ready for business and give them the information that they need to be able to work with you. And then at the bottom, after all that information, you want to write out some really clear questions. Number one, you want to ask them obviously for a quote. You want to ask them, number two, what's the volume of their preferred orders that they like to do. Large CoPackers are going to say something like, I want 500,000 units, or I won't work with you. And some smaller vendor CoPackers are going to accept smaller quantities, and you're going to learn a lot by just knowing what their preferred order looks like. And then very lastly, you want to ask them about their capabilities. So ask them for a PDF that will kind of explain what they can manufacture, what kind of packaging that they can provide for you very efficiently. And when you ask that, it allows you to get more information, to ask better, more informed questions. And then the lead time, say how long does it take from the time when we start working on a product and developing it to when we actually get it manufactured, and ask them then, lastly, what is your process? How do you onboard a client? How do you evaluate things? Can we get on a phone call? And so if you put that information in there, it shows that you want to get straight to the point and find the answer that you need, which is, are you the right CoPacker for us? How much would this cost? And are you capable of actually manufacturing what I'm dreaming about? So I hope that helps you to get the answers that you need from CoPackers and find your perfect factory partner.